Welcome to PCMC. That means Pop Culture Man Children. This is your one-stop shop for non-toxic fandom. This is a podcast about movies, TV, animation, comic books, all media and fandom ephemera, parentheses, not really a lot of music. I am the host, Mike Bongiorno. I come to you every week with a rotating cast, rogues gallery, if you will, of various nerds and pop culture fucking junkies. Today I'm here with my good friend and biological brother, Anthony Bongiorno.
Hello. How are you, Mike?
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Something different about you.
There sure is. What is it?
Have you lost weight?
I have. No, I started wearing glasses.
That's it. You seem smarter.
Yeah. I'm not at all used to them.
You know,
it's been 2 weeks and I'm still not used to them.
First of all, you look great. They really
Thank
frame
you.
your
I like
face.
the way they look. I have moments where I'm like, I'm just like always so conscious of like there's something on my face.
Right.
You know, and it takes me in general a long time to get used to things. So I
get it.
knew this was going to be like a long slog. And I have moments where I forget that they're on my face, which is good because then
That's
that means
good,
I'm
yeah.
getting used to them. But yeah, it's weird. It's my first time ever wearing any kind of glasses at 37.
And you could see the world better now?
What's weird is, so I'm farsighted, which means that I can see better far away. So basically, my eye doctor said that I needed glasses. I thought I was just going to need reading glasses because it's really like close up and reading and like working with screens that kind of like messes with my eyes. But I took an eye test and she basically was like, well, like your eyes aren't great.
It's not what we in the medical field call great.
Yeah, she was like, you're farsighted. She's like, you could probably get away with just wearing reading glasses. She's like, but you might as well just like get regular
Now,
glasses.
when she said you're farsighted, is it because you make a lot of jokes about cows?
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm farsighted. Yes.
Fantastic.
It was a great joke.
If you don't like that joke, just turn this podcast off now.
Sorry, this has been glasses talk, but yeah. Which is a great conversation for this non-visual medium.
But I tell you what, it's a good conversation for pop culture because memes are culture. Even before internet memes, all right, the term meme going back, I think, to the 70s or 80s, it's just an idea. It's a culture idea that it's modeled off of the word gene because a meme replicates through generations. And what better testament to the meme of smart people wear glasses than the fact that when you see somebody with glasses, you do automatically think they are smarter.
Yeah, well, I texted...
It works.
Yeah, I texted a picture of myself to the group chat, and Janine was like, you look so much smarter.
Yeah, you do. You're a teacher. Did you walk in and everyone just respected you a lot more?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's funny. The kids knew I needed glasses because part of the reason why I knew I needed them was like as I was reading aloud, I would like keep losing my place and skipping words, and like it was just clear to them that I couldn't see.
Or
then
really,
when I got glasses, literally when I walked into work, one girl was like, oh, "Finally!"
Oh my god!
So, and I've been reading a lot better. So
that's fantastic.
So I can see. I got my vision back.
Have you ever read or heard of the play Focus?
No.
It's about a guy who's a Gentile, but he gets glasses and they make him look like a Jew, and he starts experiencing anti-Semitism.
Is this this sounds like a Curb episode?
No, it does, but it's more of like a deep, heavy-handed satire from I don't remember when.
No, I've never heard of that.
Oh well. All right, so, well, you look great.
Thank you very much.
When
was the last time you got your eyes checked? I bet if I need them, you need them.
I haven't had my. That's interesting. I went to an eye doctor when I had the shingles because I got shingles in my eye.
But did you take
But I
a
don't
vision
know.
test or just an eye health
I don't
exam?
remember if they asked me to say letters.
Yeah, because there is a difference.
It might not. I think I might be nearsighted because sometimes, like when I'm scrolling through various streaming services, I can't. If the thumbnail's not big enough, I'm like, what is that? I don't even know what I'm looking at. I have to like lean up close to find something to watch. That's got to be a problem.
Yeah, these are also these have the blue light filter built in, so these are designed for like people who work basically any job you look at a computer all day,
Or you have a phone.
So yeah, they have that in them too. And I have noticed a noticeable reduction in like eye strain.
What about headaches? Less headaches?
At the beginning, it was more headaches because I was wearing the glasses and they were giving me headaches. But definitely like in the long run, like now, way less. Mm-hmm. Less headaches and less like eye, just like, you know when you feel like your eyes are tired?
Sure, yeah.
Less of that. So I can work for longer, which is ultimately
that's
the
really
best
the goal
thing.
in capitalism.
Yeah.
All right, so on these Fully episodes, we do news, we review new trailers, we do the chill session where we talk about the things we're currently consuming and are fans of, and we talk about our current obsessions, which is the thing we are so in love with right now. If you're new to the show and you like it, first of all, subscribe. What do you grow up, bro? Subscribe. It was her sister, bro.
The Wicked Witch of the East, bro.
Grow up.
That guy's also wrong.
He's wrong, and that's what's so funny about it. But if you like me here, also go up on the feed there and look for the starter pack episode. That's a really good. That is engineered to be a jumping on point for new people. Give that a listen. So you want to go to the news?
Let's head over to the news desk.
Let's head right over. It's warm in here. I'm going to say it.
I turned up the heat. We could turn it back down.
You're not warm?
No. I'm also wearing shorts.
Oh, okay. I'm wearing a sweatshirt.
I could turn it down if you need me to at any minute. I'm here for your comfort.
Oh, great. Can you turn it down just immediately? Can you go
Sure,
back in time and turn
I'll
it down
turn it down
for the second I walked in here? All right, folks. I guess I'll just riff while Anthony's turning down the goddamn heat. So this is from Variety, but this has been all over. You probably heard about it. Harry Potter, Nintendo, and Monsters Land set for new Epic Universe theme park at Universal.
Haven't heard about this.
You have not?
No. No. What is it?
We've been talking about it in the group chat.
Wait, what is it? Say it again.
Universal Studios is adding a new park.
Yeah.
And in the park...
A land or a park?
A park with 4 lands in it.
Okay.
Or 6 if you count the 2 that are already there, which are Harry Potter and Mario.
Yeah.
And it's going full like what Disney's been doing now, which is immersion. Okay. All these lands are like lands, like you're in the narrative of it.
Yeah.
And you go through these gateways and you're like in another world.
Okay.
So there are
there's their Universal Monsters one?
Yes.
Okay, I have tangentially been like paying attention to that conversation.
So there's a Universal's Monsters one, and some of the early press release talked about Dracula's daughter.
Okay.
So I imagine there's like a Dracula's Castle ride. Maybe there's a kind of Frankenstein ride.
Frankenstein?
I don't know. I mean, as a Universal nerd way back from the VHS days, I'm very excited about...
Yeah, that's exciting. I do miss the Universal Monsters dance show
with
hosted by Beetlejuice.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad to see them giving love to one of their oldest properties.
Yeah,
the first
that's kind of surprising.
Universe that ever existed.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising that they're not going with something that's like
newer,
super new and cool.
I think. Yeah, it's interesting because also they've been trying they've tried unsuccessfully like 5 times to do a new Monsters universe, and it keeps not happening.
Well, the last one was The Invisible Man, right?
Right.
The one with Elizabeth
Right, which
Moss.
is a really good movie.
It's really good. That was the last movie we saw before COVID. I'll always remember that.
Yes.
We saw it like a day before COVID.
Yeah, that's a fantastic movie. But they tried Dracula and Bound. This new movie, Abigail, is supposed to be
Dracula's
daughter.
That looks fun.
But yeah, it's exciting. I've said before that like one of my dreams for Disney would be like a whole land of Haunted Mansion, and this kind of will be like that.
Yeah.
There's one thing called Celestial Park.
Okay.
I'm getting this from Variety. Offering a bucolic entry into the new park is this land. New park. This land will feature rolling gardens and picturesque waterways. It will also have rides including a new racing coaster called Starfall Racers and a carousel inspired by constellations. Step into lush green world where thrills, entertainment, dining, and shopping lead all who enter on an extraordinary journey of discovery.
That sounds boring.
It's not tied into an IP that already exists.
Yeah.
But it sounds cool from the designs that they've released. It just looks like it reminds me a little bit of I've never been there, but I think Disney Paris, their Tomorrowland is like Jules Verne's themed.
It's like steampunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of that vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks cool. I in general don't think that Universal does as good of a job with the parks as like Disney.
They are catching up, especially because Disney has been faltering and stumbling for the last 10 years. And they're pricing out
Disney,
people.
Yeah.
They have left themselves open for Universal to come in and really take over. And then
it's also like at war with the governor.
Yes, yeah.
No, I mean it looks cool.
There's a How to Train Your Dragonland, which
people are really into that, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know that people were into it so much that it would have warranted a whole land.
Maybe
the Isle of Berk. Guests will have a chance to go on a Viking adventure inspired by the film franchise. Take to the skies and soar with dragons as you explore a colorful Viking village at the heart of Berk. Take part in a wild boat battle, feast like a Viking, and more. Oh, fantastic. The Dark Universe, that's inspired by Universal Monsters.
That's cool.
From the experiments of Dr. Victoria Frankenstein.
What?
Oh, no, it's not Dracula's daughter. It's a female Frankenstein. That's interesting.
Woke.
To a woke bullshit. Go woke, go broke. To a shadowy landscape where monsters roam. The Dark Universe is a world of myth and mystery. And then you've got Harry Potter that's been there and Nintendo, and then they're adding to Nintendo Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah. That's. I want to go there. I want to go to there.
To Nintendo.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Nintendo, and I really want to go to the Dark Universe.
Yeah. Dr. Victoria Frankenstein. That's interesting. Is it supposed to be his daughter?
I don't know. Makes you want to flip over a table, doesn't it?
I need more about that. I need to know more about that.
How dare they?
Isn't he in the Universal films Henry Frankenstein?
Yes, he's not even Victor.
So, interesting.
Yeah, but I wonder. It feels like from this and just from.
I mean, I'm seething about it because
I know,
she's a woman.
Me too.
You know,
the last 30 years of merchandising seems that they're not as dug into like the mythology as they are the iconography. You know what I mean?
Which is, I think, smart.
Right. You know what a Dracula is. You know what a Wolfman is.
Yeah, we got Draculas over
there.
there.
I hope you just go there and there's just Draculas walking around everywhere. So
imagine like every ticket taker is just a Dracula.
It's just a different
Dracula.
We
got 1, 2, 3. It's the Count from Sesame Street.
Just so many Draculas.
3 children.
Oh boy,
that sounds like fun.
I
want Beetlejuice to be there.
Maybe he
what's
will
interesting about that is like, I guess as a child of the 90s, as a child you don't really think critically.
Sure, no.
But looking back, like what the fuck? Like Beetlejuice has nothing to do with the Universal monsters.
I disagree.
I mean
he doesn't, but it makes perfect sense.
But does it just make sense because you grew up with it?
No, because he would totally hang out with those guys. You can't see them getting along.
He would totally. Those are his people.
Right. Those are his kind.
When are we getting a Beetlejuice trailer?
I don't know. How do you feel about the title?
I like it. Beetlejuice? I think it's a good title.
It is a good title.
It's pretty clever.
Better
than Beetlejuice 2.
Sure. I'm making a prediction.
That's gonna suck.
It's gonna be a terrible movie.
Well,
because it's you know why? It's directed by that bad director, Tim Burton.
Oh boy.
You know how bad he is at making movies.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's gotten worse.
He did a couple good movies. He did 3. About 3 good movies.
Out of 25.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't done a good one in A dog's
No,
age.
God, no.
Oh, I tried to watch that animated Frankenweenie over Halloween season.
Why would you do that?
Not good.
I remember liking Big Fish.
I remember liking.
Or am I thinking of the band Real Big Fish?
No.
Yeah, the movie was pretty good.
I also do, but I saw it once. It's one of those movies I saw once and was like, this is the best movie ever, and never thought about it again.
Yeah, me too. I remember Jessica Lange and a fish in a bathtub.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Right.
He butchered that book series that he adapted.
Oh, that made me so angry because I like those books.
Yeah.
He cut out my favorite character. Anyway, I can't keep being mad at him.
It's not good for you, Mike.
All right. So Moana 2 is coming out. They put out a trailer for Moana 2. We're not going to talk about the trailer because there's nothing to it.
No.
This was a surprise to most people because we've all known about I'm going to call it egregious, Moana live action remake that they're making. So no one really knew about this, but then this is coming out this year.
Yeah.
And one astute tweeter said, this is the return of Jafar of our times.
Wasn't it supposed to be a TV show that they were like, let's just make it a movie?
Oh, I don't know. But the real lead here is that Lin-Manuel Miranda is not involved.
Yikes. Is Ahuli Cravalho going to voice Moana? I hope I said her name correctly.
She's the one from Mean Girls, right?
Yes. Talk about a movie that seems like it was made for streaming.
Yeah. Let's see. Is she? Oh boy, listen to this. Mark Mancina and Obadiah Faul. I'm sorry, I'm saying this all wrong. Are returning to work on the sequel's music. The new song should establish their own identity instead of trying to copy Miranda's. The creative team behind Moana 2 will be augmented by Abigail Barlow and Emily Bear, a TikTok writing duo known for the unofficial Bridgerton musical album.
What about The Rock?
Yeah, he'll probably be in it.
Well, yeah.
He's in the live action
save
one.
it. What?
I don't know.
Can Disney stop?
No, they cannot stop.
Why can't they stop
flailing.
themselves
They
from
are
failing? Nobody likes these live action movies.
They're in free fall, and they will not stop.
I think that the live action Little Mermaid was the best live action movie they've ever made. And still,
live action movie Disney ever made?
No.
Of those?
God, no. The best live action remake of an animated that they've ever made, and still I've forgotten about it, and it's had zero cultural impact.
Right.
Please stop. And none of them are successful financially either.
Yeah, I don't know why they're like, we have to keep doing this.
The Snow White seems like, for many reasons, it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, the last movie that they had that I thought was genuinely great was Encanto. I thought Encanto was legitimately incredible. I said I wish Encanto was their 100-year anniversary movie, not fucking Wish,
I know,
which
you really
was a
hate
fucking
Wish.
drag.
I wish it would end.
I wish I could put a bullet in my head instead of watching this fucking movie.
I didn't see it, but Janine didn't hate it.
She liked it a lot, I think.
Yeah, but she's also seeing it with children. You're seeing it as a crabby man, middle-aged man with no kids.
Yeah, but I love Encanto. I'm still a crabby middle-aged man then.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
know good from bad.
But I think when you see anything with a child who likes it, it makes you kind of like it more.
No, it makes me think less of the child. It makes me like, you like this?
Listen,
You
after your
like
Santa
this?
Claus episode, you need to stop coming for the children.
Fucking, oh boy.
Yeah, Disney, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Moana 2, if it's half as good as Frozen 2, that masterpiece.
Yeah, that was
what
a
a piece
bummer.
of shit.
That was a bummer. Some of the songs I like, but overall it was just such a messy story.
Into the Unknown is a good song.
And I like the funny song that's like the 80s rock ballad with the moose.
Oh, yeah, it was all right.
And I do like that one line where he's like, Sharon? I don't know a Sharon.
I only saw it
Oh,
once.
Samantha. I don't know a Samantha.
I only saw it once.
I
couldn't follow.
It's complicated. I am more... Look, if I had to pick between a Moana 2 and a remake, I would do Moana 2.
Is this coming to theaters?
I do not know.
If it's going straight to streaming, it really is the return of Jafar of our time.
I'm gonna bet.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Return of Jafar Fever.
I remember it. I don't think I've ever seen Return of
What?
Jafar.
We had it on video. Home video.
I'm sure we did. Was it good?
No, but I just remember being so psyched that it existed. Do
Yeah.
you remember who the voice of the genie was?
Oh, Homer Simpson.
Yeah,
What's his name?
yeah.
Dan Castellaneta.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is it coming out to theaters? Lin-Manuel was probably like, "Count me the fuck out." I'll write a new rap song for the remake though.
That's surprising because Lin-Manuel's like Disney's guy now.
Yeah, but he probably he could stink this coming a mile away. I don't know. This article that I'm looking at from Screen Rant does not say.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna say maybe
it's gonna come to. Yeah, I'm sure they could. Whatever will make them more money. And I think right now, releasing it will make them more money.
Last weekend, me and Jen saw Turning Red in theaters. It came out in theaters after its streaming release during the pandemic. And we love Turning Red. Yeah. And it was fantastic to see in theaters. Have you seen Turning Red?
Yeah, I saw Turning Red. I
loved it.
I liked it a lot. I liked Soul a lot, too.
Didn't love Soul.
I loved Soul. Soul was like...
Didn't love Luca either.
I've never seen Luca.
Some people absolutely love Luca.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who love Luca. I liked Soul. To me is like that's just like a pandemic movie. Like I remember being like, "Hey, we can't go outside. Let's watch Soul."
Day or something?
I feel like it came out earlier than that. I don't know. I remember it was like one of those movies that like was going to be released, but then was released at home because of the pandemic.
Right.
Like that movie, The Lovebirds, with Issa Rae and Kumail Nanjiani. Where I just remember being like, "Hey, life is horrible and we have nothing to look forward to. Let's watch this movie tonight."
Right. December 25th, 2020.
It did come out Christmas, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, yeah. That's the Christmas when no one saw anybody.
Yeah.
That was like the loneliest Christmas ever. Yeah, so that's probably what we did on Christmas, actually.
Yeah.
Huh.
You know, it looks like a real stinkeroo.
What?
Inside Out 2.
Yeah, none of the voice talent is back.
Well, not none of, but there's a few big
none of the good ones.
Switches.
I mean, Bill Hader's not back.
And Mindy Kaling's
not back.
I don't know why.
I bet money.
Yeah. It just seems like... Well, look, unless one of them is horny and they really go for it. Like, I'm the new guy,
just
horny, and he just...
Make it big mouth.
It's exactly...
Isn't the new one like...
Anxiety or something?
Which is... wasn't that what we were heading toward in the first one?
I don't know.
Wasn't it like the ending of the first one, like her ability to have like a complex feeling?
Yeah. It's so hard when, like, to say one good thing about like Marvel is that they at least know, they go into it knowing they're going to make a series. With Disney, a lot of times like they make one like great movie that's a full story, like Frozen.
Yeah. And
then they're like, how about another? And it's like, oh, no, there isn't
no,
another.
thank you. Yeah.
There's no other.
Yeah, no.
Like,
and then,
like even like Aladdin, like he let the genie free and it's like, how about the genie comes back? Like, no.
And Frozen 2, not to shit on that again, but like clearly like Anna was supposed to have powers. Like that's where we were heading, right?
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't do that, what a head scratcher.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think also I was a little upset that Elsa wasn't like
out here listening to Melissa Etheridge and adopting pit bulls. Yes. Yeah.
Pit bulls.
Who rescued who?
That's what she says every day. Oh boy. All right. So what's our last piece of news here? And by the way, the definition of news.
I was going to say, there's a lot going on in the world.
The definition of, even in the world of entertainment, this is just what I feel like.
Let's talk about the Barbie snub heard around the world. Again. Did you talk about that?
Yeah, I talked about it.
Oh, okay. I must have not listened to that episode. No,
I've talked about, I was more upset about Godzilla -1 not getting an international film nomination.
I was super pissed about that too.
They got a best special.
Just kidding.
They got a best special effects nod.
Well, listen.
And Toho, the company that makes Godzilla forever, has been like, this is the first Godzilla movie to get an Academy Award nomination. So they're all excited about it and good for them. But it should have gotten a nomination for best international film, even if it doesn't win. I know they want to give it to like Zone of Interest, which I've not seen, and it seems like a laugh riot.
They have to give it to something that 4 people have seen.
It's got to be serious. This one's about the Holocaust. It's about you immediately give them an Oscar. Yeah. You can't give it to Godzilla. People saw that in life.
If anybody thinks Barbie has a shot in hell of winning Best Picture, now watch, it'll win, and I'll look like an idiot.
I would love for it to win.
I would love for it to win too. It won't.
It's always a weird thing.
Zone of Interest will win. Or is that what it's called?
Zone of Interest. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it.
I'm sure it's great. If Oppenheimer wins, I will riot.
I've still not seen Oppenheimer.
I like Oppenheimer. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's the best picture of the year.
I'm waiting to watch it on my phone because Christopher Nolan makes me so angry sometimes that I try to watch his movies in the way that he would least want me to watch it.
And so that you could throw it.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Like if I could watch it on a little watch, like on my wrist, that's how I'd watch it.
It's like
fuck.
It's a good movie, capital G, capital M. You know, it's like one of those. You see it and you're like, oh, cool. Yeah. That's a good movie.
Yeah. But
not like brilliant, not like.
But when will he answer for the crimes, for the deaths he wrought when he put Tenet out in theaters during the pandemic?
Yeah, never. I don't know. He's up his own ass. The Oscars are up their own ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care about the Oscars anyway. But,
Oscars suck.
But I am one of those people who's like, hey, like, let's not forget that America Ferrera was nominated. And that's great.
Yeah, that is great.
But you know, the Oscars have a history of doing stupid shit. Like, remember when Fargo was nominated for everything except Ben Affleck wasn't nominated? And it's like,
you mean Argo?
What'd I say? Fargo. No, Argo. Yeah. So it's like, so this movie that he wrote, directed, and starred in was so amazing that it was the best picture of the year, but he wasn't the best performer or director.
Well, it's always really weird to nominate a film for best picture and then not its director.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It's bullshit.
Basically, what I'm saying is I won't watch the Oscars again until Ben Affleck finally gets his Oscar.
I only ever watch the Oscars if somebody's like has a party. And
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I never am like, ooh,
it's fun to take the piss, you know?
Yeah, yeah. All right, so this is a continuing story that has a sad ending.
Ooh.
This is from IndieWire.
No, you could say this from India.
Here's why Coyote versus Acme is worth more dead than alive.
Ooh, jeez.
And yep, it's legal.
What?
Warner Discovery would rather take a $70 million loss than a $35 million offer. So Disney, I'm sorry. Warner Brothers, as we last were talking about this on the podcast, they were like, okay, we'll chop it around and see if anyone wants to distribute it. They showed it to 12 distributors, 10 passed, and the other two expressed interest, but for like half what they're asking for.
It must be bad.
It must be. Well, that's funny. The early everything was like, oh, it's really good, but this would indicate that it's not good.
Yeah, if it was good, there'd be a bidding war for it.
But here's the problem. Like, you spent 70,000. Sorry, 70,000. Yeah,
70,000 American dollars.
You spent $70 million making this movie, right? Or whatever it is you'll get back. Actually, probably was a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Because there's animation in it. But $70 million is what they'll get for a tax loop. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, and that's what this article is focused on, which is this is legal. Like, what is this? So you'd rather just delete that movie from existing. Like, you made a movie, put it out. Yeah. Maybe people will like it.
It'll make a couple bucks.
Yeah, but like,
it's weird.
Think about all the people that worked on the movie. Like, they won't want to work with you again.
Yeah. This is the second time Warner Brothers has done this recently, right?
Yeah, after Batgirl. Which people said Batgirl was kind of a mess, but the buzz was Brendan Fraser as the villain was really good.
Of course.
Which would have been, the Fraser Renaissance continues.
Yeah. Although, weren't you deeply offended by the whale?
Yes, the whale was like just It was.
I want an Oscar, so I'm going to put on a fat suit.
No, I wasn't him. I had no problem with him.
Wasn't it like he's so? Look how disgusting he is.
Yeah, it was like really like a freak show, but a freak show pretending to be empathetic.
Yeah,
it was a gross like. Let's all look at this giant fat person. It's called the whale,
and he's also gay. Ill.
Yeah, but we have empathy. It's like no, you don't.
Yeah.
The film does not have empathy. I think Brendan Fraser's performance, raises it to a better level.
Yeah.
Because I think the play it's based on was a little bit more satire funny.
Okay.
And he plays it very sincere. But yeah, I was deeply offended by the whale. But anyway.
And Pitch Perfect too.
And Pitch Perfect too. Yeah, it just this is really a problem. This is really a problem.
It's just the obscene amount of money being wasted.
I know and
money,
work
time,
and
resources.
People tried.
Yeah,
people worked on this. Like this isn't. It's just the complete the sort of final end of the line of the corporatization of movies that sort of began when in the late 70s. Giant corporations that were not in movies started buying movie studios. Like it's just like this is a product. It's like Coke too. You don't like it? Well, then you don't have to have it anymore.
It's not a piece of art. It's will this make money? No, let's shelve it.
Right. And whatever this, and I'm not a smart guy when it comes to taxes. So I'm not even going to try to understand why. But whatever this tax loophole is, that needs to be fucking closed because that's ridiculous.
It's giving Producers by Mel Brooks. What is this?
I know, you spent a insane, obscene amount of money on a movie, but you don't like it? All right, we'll give you a lot of that back.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm fucking jerking guys off underneath the Brooklyn Bridge for my fucking insulin medicine.
Are you?
I don't have insulin, but
but you are jerking guys off underneath the Brooklyn Bridge.
But the world is unfair, and that's the point. And by God, I really wanted to see this movie.
No,
it won't.
You think?
I think
it'll never see the light of day.
In the world of digital, you could delete it. It could be.
God, that's fucking insane.
I know.
Would they? Somebody's got to have it.
Somebody, look, I'm not calling
Somebody's showing it to their kids.
I'm not saying anyone should do anything illegal, but I'm saying it would be awesome if somebody leaked it. If somebody had it and leaked it.
Yeah.
That's how Deadpool got made. You know that, right?
Well, I knew that it wasn't originally sanctioned.
Well, Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool in one of the Wolverine movies, but a very weird
shitty version of him.
Yeah,
right?
And he really loved the character, so they did some tests with him, the costume and stuff, and I think I guess it was 20th Century Fox at the time, was like, nah, we don't want to do it. And then someone, to this day, no one knows who, someone leaked all that footage. Some say it's the director, some say it's Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. And everyone online was like, wow, this looks so good, and that's what got it made.
Interesting. Well, yeah, because isn't it like... I was going to ask you about this when we get to the... I'll save it for the trailer corner, actually.
Well, we can mosey on right over the trailer corner.
Let's head that way. Because our first trailer is Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes, and we're talking about the big game spot that aired during the big Super Bowl game.
Yeah. So, now, I'm ignorant about this.
Sure. And that's okay.
I saw both Deadpools. Are there three? I saw two of them.
This one is going to be the third one.
So I've seen all the Deadpools. I like them. I like the first one a lot.
Yeah, the first one's fantastic.
But I remember there were even jokes in the first one about like, oh, it's weird that it's only you two guys answering the door when he would go to like the X Academy or whatever. Like, wasn't it like not really Marvel or something?
Well, there were jokes like that, but that was more a joke about how they didn't want to. Yeah, and they didn't want to pay.
Okay.
Like Hugh Jackman.
Okay.
Because they are in the 20th Century Fox universe, which means they could connect to the X-Men, but they couldn't connect to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Because back then the X-Men couldn't connect to the cinematic.
Right.
universe.
But now that 20th Century Fox was bought by Disney.
Now they're all Disney.
Right. So this is actually the first Deadpool movie that's in this Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, that's why in the trailer he makes a joke about like pegging is a first for Disney.
Yeah. And I've never watched Loki, but apparently the guys who come and arrest him are from the Loki show, and they're from the TVA, which they're cops that are. They watch people who are jumping through multiverses and committing crimes or whatever. Yeah. So they're bringing. I guess they're going to bring Deadpool into the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he shows them a screen that has all the Marvel Cinematic, and that's what he's like, I'm the Messiah. I'm Marvel Jesus.
Well, I like that, obviously he's very like self-aware and
fourth wall breaking
referential. Like I like all the references to like Marvel and the cinematic universe and that stuff.
Did you see
funny
in the fight scene? There's a giant 20th Century Fox logo,
no,
like
I didn't
on the
that.
ground,
That's
like
funny.
like it's like it looks like it's like coming out of the ground, like it's an ancient like some sort of artifact.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, Marvel. What's interesting is it's the only Marvel movie to come out in 2024, and thank God we could all use a break. Yeah. And Marvel has been really floundering. The Eternals did very badly. The Marvels did very badly. Ant-Man 3 did very badly, and it's just sort of like it's just puttering. It's just like it's completely lost its way.
What's this Madam Web?
That's in the Sony universe. It's not related.
Oh boy.
So Madam Web, Sony universe is only
Spider-Man?
No. Well, kinda, because the Spider-Man Marvel Cinematic Universe movie is co-produced by Sony. So like, because Sony won't give up owning Spider-Man.
But even though Spider-Man is canonically an X-Man, isn't he? Or like a friend of the X-Men?
Well, yeah, but the X-Men, because they were owned by 20th Century Fox, were not ever part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I'm talking like comics and cartoons.
Oh yeah, yeah. In the comics, they all know each other and shit.
They're all cool.
Yeah, they're all fine. They will.
So is Madam Web a Spider-Man spinoff?
Yeah, she's related to Morbius and Venom.
Okay.
So, like, not really related. But now that they open the door of, like, there's a multiverse, they could kind of have everything be connected without it really without the puzzle pieces making sense.
My thing. If there's a multiverse and everything doesn't, like, how about we just make them not connected anymore then?
Well, I think what will make Deadpool great is because he has that fourth wall break and he can make fun of Disney and he can make fun of corporate ownership.
Right.
And things like that. And it's going to be the first Marvel movie that's R-rated. So they're not toning it down. I think it at least will send up a lot of what's annoying about all of this shit.
Yeah. Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Because
I
think we've hit fatigue.
Yeah.
Hard.
I do like that they brought back his wife. She died in the second one, and then in post-credit scene, he goes back in time, and they just brought her back. She's just in it.
Yeah.
He's wearing a wig. And look, I think these movies are really funny.
They are.
I think he's great. Not since Christopher Reeve played Superman has somebody been like, I can't even imagine someone else playing Deadpool at this point.
He's super funny. I feel like he's a millennial celebrity. Like,
what do you mean?
Like, I feel like we like him and the kids beneath us hate him.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't ever talk to the kids.
I don't think they like him. If you're a kid.
If you're Gen Z.
Fill us in. Drop us a line.
Do you like Ryan Reynolds?
I don't think they do. I feel like he's problematic for some reason. I could be wrong.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe they just find him smug.
He did something funny, which was his wife, Blake Lively, was sitting next to Taylor Swift during the Super Bowl. So when the Deadpool trailer dropped on Twitter, he went, "Did you see the Deadpool trailer? Also, has anyone seen my wife?"
Yeah. Did you see the camera caught her? You didn't watch any of the Super Bowl, right?
No.
The camera caught her saying, "What the fuck" or something like that, or "Oh my fucking god."
Oh, really?
Yeah. Also,
Jeff Goldblum was there.
What a box! It was Taylor Swift, Ice Spice, Blake Lively, Lana Del Rey, who like. Lana Del Rey is a football fan. I've never seen her smirk. Right. And the joy exuding from her cheering for the Kansas City Chiefs. It was so crazy. I was like, my Lana?
I felt that way about Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum is I just
but
imagine he sits at home and listens to jazz all day.
Yeah, but like, at least he's like somewhat more of a normal guy. Like Lana Del Rey is like
Right.
She's just like the quintessential sad girl.
Right.
The fact that she's like, fuck yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs. I was like, what is this?
I know, it's wild.
These people are all friends.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Totally wild.
I love hearing people complain about
Taylor Swift.
Because they get so mad.
It's like, but what's to get
Why are
mad
they always
about?
showing her?
Because she's like the most famous person in
Yeah,
the world,
I know.
and she's watching,
Well-
and she cares. Like, she's not just there; like, she's got stake in what's happening.
Right.
So when something happens, they'll go to her reaction of it.
Well, apparently she's not allowed to be excited that her boyfriend's playing in the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Because people will be like, why is she emoting so much?
Right.
Right.
Why is she a lady that I'm not having sex with and I have to listen to?
How dare she? Yeah, no.
Why is she
it's
not
crazy.
actively baking a pie? I'm upset.
They get so mad. It makes
They're
me,
such snowflakes.
They really.
It's funny
do
they
you know
call,
what's
they call
shocking?
liberals snowflakes. It's like they get so sad over
I know.
such nonsense.
And there's a shocking number of them who believe that she's there as part of like a conspiracy.
Oh right, she made a deal with like the head of NFL.
Yeah, to get Joe Biden reelected. It's so crazy.
Yeah, everyone's in the bag for Joe.
And then I have no real stake in who wins the Super Bowl ever, but like I knew that because it's a rematch of 2020, there was like a crazy like superstition on Twitter that like if the 49ers win in this 2020 rematch, that means that Trump's going to win the presidential rematch.
Oh yeah.
So then when they lost, I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
I love to see them cry about that.
I guess they were banking on that.
Yeah. Because magic.
Magic is real. All right, let's go to the other big game spot, which we looked at, which was Wicked.
Sorry.
So this is Wicked Part 1. They split it up into 2.
It doesn't say that.
Why?
Though. It doesn't say that.
It doesn't say that, but we know that. Hey, but why though?
To make more monies.
It feels like, and I only saw the musical once, and I remember being delighted by it.
I bought you that ticket. It was
yes, I was delighted by it.
It's
but it seems like the Wicked musical plus like action.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to end where Act 1 breaks, the act break, which is right after the Defying Gravity. Yeah. That's definitely going to be the last shot.
Okay,
right, because that's the last scene of Act 1 of the musical. It does look like it's got more like world building and action.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Another musical that's not being marketed as
secret
a musical.
They refuse to show a person singing. Yes.
Why? It's Wicked.
They're terrified.
But why?
I don't know.
It's the most.
Well,
it's
first of all,
the
they
most
think people are
properties.
They think if you know, and if you don't know, we want to fool you.
But they make people so mad.
Yes, it does make people mad.
I've seen like so many people who didn't know Mean Girls was a musical. Like,
well, that's who they're doing it for.
Got mad. They got duped. And like, but
it doesn't matter. You already paid for your ticket.
Of people being like, "Ugh," when they start singing.
But you already paid for your ticket, so they
yes. But then doesn't word get out, and then people stop coming second week? I don't know. It's weird.
I have no idea.
That the big one with that where that happened, or the big movie that happened with was Sweeney Todd, the Sweeney Todd movie.
Yeah.
It was like a pretty big deal. That was like over 10 years ago now.
Another Tim Burton.
It was a Tim Burton. That was a good movie. That's probably his last good movie.
I remember liking it, but I think the ones
but that was not marketed
his fault. It's
not
on him that they're good.
Sweeney Todd is great because it's Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was not at all marketed as a musical. It was marketed as like a dark, scary Tim Burton movie.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but I will say, all of that aside, I think it looks great.
It does. It looks good. The casting looks cool.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Jeff Goldblum as the wizard.
Come on now. And I like the mechanical head that he's using to talk. Like, I like it. I like that it...
When I saw those silver shoes, I screamed.
Oh, I don't remember that.
They're silver. They're not ruby.
Good. So they're really...
And you see the shot of the four from The Wizard of Oz standing in front of the head.
Yes.
Which is so cool.
Yeah. It does look... people have talked for years about like remaking Wizard of Oz, which is like not something that should happen.
Why in the world would you?
But like this would be the only way to like do that. You know what I mean? Like, because this is. I mean, Wicked was a book first.
Yeah, and the musical is a huge improvement on the book.
I never read the book.
The book is like okay at best. The musical has far surpassed it in like in quality and in like cultural relevance. Like it's a musical now.
Right.
But I think that Ariana looks great too.
She's great. She got the voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she's
like
great.
she looks like she's given a good performance.
Yeah, she'll be good.
People were like worried about her when it was first announced that she was going to be Glinda.
Oh, why? She's good.
I don't know. People like to hate a woman, you know.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting people hate women.
Yeah.
I don't want to have sex with you and you won't let me. I'm so mad.
Look, I don't think that it needs to be 2 movies. I think
No.
if it were 1 movie, it would have to be like a 2.5, 3 hour movie, probably, if they didn't want to cut songs.
How about we cut some songs and we make it a nice, tight
the
2-hour movie?
The thing, though, is that Wicked is one of those, in fairness, like I could see that you wouldn't want to cut songs because Wicked is truly one of those musicals where the plot is moved by all the songs. Like they sing almost the
So you
entire
think
time.
nothing can lose?
No, I'm sure they could cut a few things, but I don't think it's like one of those musicals like Mean Girls where like you could cut a bunch of the songs and the story will still be there.
It feels like a cash grab.
Yeah,
It feels
it
like
definitely
The Hobbit.
is. And the fact that they're not calling it Wicked Part 1 also feels deceitful.
Yes.
So you're going to go and then it's going to be like, is that the end?
Right. Yeah,
like they're not being upfront about the fact that they're splitting it into 2 movies.
Right. You know, it's interesting. I just heard recently that the supposed last Mission Impossible movie was called Part 1 and Part 2, but then the first one didn't do good, so they dropped the Part 2 on the new one, and it's not called. It's got its own title now.
So weird.
They're like backing off on it.
It's so weird.
It's very odd.
It's odd. I mean, I'm excited for it though. I think it looks good, and I love Wicked.
Yeah,
I'm excited too. I'm excited to see it. I hope they don't do the Hobbit thing where now that it's 2 movies, they're going to add a bunch of unnecessary stuff.
Well, I feel like you could,
right?
Especially if you want more action.
Maybe they'll pull from the book because the book really follows her from childhood all the way up until.
Well, that would be cool if it were a combination of the book and the play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Maybe they'll do that.
Well, it remains to be seen.
Yeah.
The last trailer we looked at was not shown during the big game.
I'm so annoyed with you, by the way, that we are not talking about Twisters.
Twisters?
Right now and forever.
What's to say about Twisters?
What is it? You know, it's clearly a sequel, but they keep saying, no, it's not. They're being so coy about it. They're like, no, it's not. It's its own thing. It's not a remake. It's not a sequel.
Yeah.
But it's...
Helen Hunt's not going to pop up somewhere?
I think it's going to be like one of those secret sequels where like... Yeah. At the end, it's gonna be like, and my mother, Helen Hunt. My mother, Helen Hunt, star of the film Twisters, taught me how to chase twisters. Like the main character is gonna be their kid or something.
You know what my question is? Twister, which I think is a good movie,
great movie,
opened up a window into a subculture that I wonder if it actually exists.
I think it's all fake. I don't think storm chasers are real.
Storm chasers?
You know what? I bet there are, in all seriousness, but maybe not.
What a world! It paints such a world.
We've lost Bill Paxton. We've lost Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they have given us Helen Hunt in this one?
I don't know.
Or maybe she will pop up.
Or Ali Sheedy.
Maybe it'll be like, no, she wasn't in it.
Wasn't she his?
No, Jamie Gertz.
Jamie Gertz. Oh, I made that mistake.
Wrong 80s.
Oh, I did what we all do.
Classic Bill Paxton, Bill Pullman mix up. Maybe Helen Hunt will pop up and it'll be a secret like Linda Blair in Exorcist Believer.
Maybe she plays the Twister.
Maybe, or one of the Twister. But when it said, when it went like boom, boom, boom with the letters, Twisters, I was like, fuck. I want to see this movie.
Was it you who posted that meme that's like the letterbox reviews of Alien and Aliens?
I don't remember.
It's from Letterbox and it's Alien, and then the guy wrote, "This would be cool if it had more than one." And then other aliens it said, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah.
But there are multiple Twisters in Twister.
Yeah, it's of course.
Because they last for like 10 seconds.
But it's got to be... See, here's the thing.
There's no cow, though. I was like, where's the cow? That's the big part of the marketing.
It's going to be there. But the thing is, like, they're saying this is its own thing. It's a standalone. It's just a...
Fuck off.
It's like, you can't just make things up. Like, it's clearly the same logo.
Right.
It's the same machine with the little pellets that fly out. It's the same title. Like... But even like the machine they use is a fake machine that
was created the other one. Right. That alone makes it a sequel.
It's called the Dorothy or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, but then to be like, it's not a reboot or a sequel. It's a standalone thing. It's just like a new entry into the Twister franchise. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. What is all
that
of
makes
this
it
mean
that's
anymore?
what a reboot is.
Right. It's just all gobbledygook.
It all makes nothing. Yeah. Nothing makes any kind of sense anymore.
Boy.
But anyway. Let's get to our actual third
trailer.
The
trailer we actually watched is something I'm excited about. It's something a lot of the horror hounds online are excited about. It's a movie called Late Night with the Devil, starring friend of the show, David Malchian. I think that's how you say it.
Okay.
He tweeted at us once, and we're still thankful for him.
We're really tight with him.
Yeah. This is in that genre that is popular now. That Skinamarink in, which they call analog horror. Mm-hmm. It's like it looks like it's a video that they don't want you to see, and it's a video of a broadcast of a late night talk show where I guess they bring on somebody who's possessed by the devil.
It's a guest who was the sole survivor of a massacre or something.
Yeah,
and then so it looks. When I first saw it, I was like, "Is this Grady Hendrix? Is this a Grady Hendrix joint?" Because it's very much like
it
in
feels
that.
way.
Yeah, that's just like such a genre now.
Yeah.
But it looks really fun.
Yeah.
I'm always like, they always market these things as straight horror, but then a little bit of digging and you find that it's like a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Which makes more sense.
Yeah.
At first I didn't know what it was. And like right at first, like in the first few seconds, I was like, oh, is this a movie about like that newscaster who killed herself on air?
They made 2 movies already about that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But then I quickly was like, oh, no, this is something fake. The minute they said this is a recovered tape, I was like, oh, this is fun.
But even that's very analog horror because it sounds like somebody doing an impression of the guy who did
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, like Late Night.
Yeah, with the devil. Yeah, it reminded me of like Thanksgiving, which was a fake trailer. That is now a movie.
There's a movie that came out in 2013 that this reminds me of. It's called the WNFU Halloween Special. Uh-huh. It's basically one night of a local TV station. And so it's like commercials and then the newscast. And the newscast is like...
I hope there are commercials in this.
I hope so too. I think there might be. That's what's so interesting that in the digital age, there's this like harken back to analog, and also this idea that analog is somehow scary and like could be cursed.
Well, I was thinking about this the other day. I think that phones have ruined narrativity.
Sure.
I think that I was thinking about this when I saw. Have you seen Saltburn?
Not yet.
Okay, so Saltburn, whatever. I liked it a lot, but a lot of people are like, oh, it's overrated, whatever. Regardless, it takes place in like 2010. Mm-hmm. It's like there's this thing now of like setting things just before cell phones to avoid them.
But 2010, you already had the first iPhone.
But like not. Well, maybe it was 2008. It's like it's in the recent enough present that it still feels like now, but they're not smartphones. They all have like regular cell phones.
Okay.
So I think that there's something to that. Like I think that something about smartphones and TikTok and whatever. Like it's just like it kind of will solve any conflict. In anything.
Yeah.
Especially a horror movie. Or like,
right.
I don't know. It seems like it's another way of like, let's just avoid the cell phone thing.
Well, though, to push back on that a little bit, people always say like you have to make horror movies in the past because if they had cell phones, they would just use them. But I feel like if you look at like Stranger Things, they want cell phones and they don't have them, so they turn child walkie-talkies into cell phones.
True.
The way they use walkie-talkies in Stranger Things is absurd.
Oh yeah. But then to counter that though, look at the new Scream movies. They're good, but they don't know how to use cell phones. They kind of use them as if they're just handheld phones. They don't really like do all that they could with them because they don't know how to use them. Maybe it's that we don't know how to write them into things.
I don't know. I feel like there's been a huge push on how to depict like text on screen.
Yeah.
Like I think we got really good. Like we recently saw You Got Mail, and that's really at the beginning of like trying to show screens on screen.
Right.
But I feel like we've gotten very good at like You just see the text written on the screen, and we know what it is, and we get it. It's not confusing.
I will say, I think Mean Girls did a really good job of working in social media and cell phones.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's just a thought that I had, and I think that Saltburn feels to me like it was intentionally set when it was set for that reason.
Okay.
I just feel like it's a can of worms.
Yeah, I agree. You also, I think also you might they want things to be before the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, because if you pretend it never happened, it's like, well, that's weird now.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like when you go back and you watch a movie from the 40s and they're not talking about World War II.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you pretending World War II isn't happening?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I was thinking about that, like even like with high school movies and stuff, TV, Never Have I Ever, whatever, all that stuff. Like they don't talk about the fact that like 1 year of school was at home.
Right.
Which for real teenagers, that's a huge thing.
Right.
Is that they lost like over a year of high school to the pandemic.
I know. Yeah,
it's weird. But anyway, we'll see. I think within a few years, you'll see the pandemic being worked into things.
Mm-hmm. But to go back to like what I was saying, like I don't think it's necessarily what I was talking about was not necessarily a rejection of digital, but like a weird nostalgia, even for people who weren't there, towards the analog. Like
you think it's
records and video, like this idea of video and even like broadcast TV, but also this idea that like somehow it was like it's cursed or like it was somehow dangerous. It's really fascinating.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if it's nostalgia as much as it's like mystifying it.
Sure. Yeah.
Sort of like like. You're right. It's like there's this thing of like, ooh, cassette tapes are haunted,
right?
And like it's
it's also a time before like deepfakes and stuff. So like if you saw something scary supposedly in the past, you would believe it more.
Yeah. Especially now with AI, it's like fucking.
I know it's a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
Recently, somebody showed me. I won't say who it was because I don't want to embarrass them, but somebody much older than me showed me what they thought was a trailer for a new movie, and it wasn't. It just was an AI thing. And I was like, that's not a real thing.
I recently had a similar experience.
Well, let's take a break, and we'll come back for the chill sesh. Welcome back to PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm joined by Anthony Bongiorno. Anthony, this is the chill sesh. This is the shesh where we chill. What are you currently chilling with? What are you chilling with?
You say that you sound. Why do you say it like that?
I don't know.
You kind of sound like you ever see when Vanessa Bayer does like the Child Star?
No.
And she's like she does the news, and that's in the news.
No.
Oh brother. This book.
What's that?
This is Queenie by Candace Carty Williams.
Okay.
So I picked it up at my local Barnes & Noble.
Okay. Funny because you have a
library card.
No, I was going to say, isn't this a Strand?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have to look cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have a Strand.
Oh, so you pretend like you buy from the Strand
bookmark. Yeah, but it's from Barnes & Noble.
Okay.
It looked interesting. It looked fun. It's got a pull quote from Candace Bushnell on the front, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Saying a must-read novel. And I've just been really, it's not an obsession, but I've been enjoying it. It was marketed as the Black Bridget Jones.
Okay.
It's about like a young British Jamaican woman who is going through a breakup. And she works as like in TV journalism. She's got like kind of like the DNA of Bridget Jones is there. But it's like more inherently political because she's coming off of this breakup with her white boyfriend. And I'm only about a third of the way through the book, but basically like there's a lot of flashbacks where like she's coping with and coming to terms with the fact that a lot of the people in her life, including her ex-boyfriend, were like guilty of committing like microaggressions against her, like racist microaggressions. It's got a little bit of not only Bridget Jones, but like it's got some Annie Hall flavor too, because it's got a lot of flashbacks of like, it's like it starts with, oh my God, I love him so much. We just broke up. I can't wait till we get back together. But like what I'm sensing is that like through flashbacks, she and the reader are realizing that like this relationship actually wasn't very good. Like in hindsight. So there's a lot of like extended flashbacks to like moments from the relationship. Anyway, it's very highly praised. It's from across the pond. There's a BBC adaptation of it.
A show
that I'm gonna watch after I finish the book because I'm enjoying it very much. But that's what I'm chilling with.
That's cool.
It's a really good book so far, and it's got a lot of like opening it up. Like it's recommended
and so
by
you knew about it before?
Roxanne Gay, recommended by Oprah.
You knew about it, or you saw it
No,
in
this
the
is literally
bookstore?
like the cover is so arresting. I just think it's got a cool cover. It's got like her head with her hairstyle, and
it's all orange.
It's all orange, and it's just a cool looking cover. So I picked it up. I read the back, and it seemed interesting, so I bought it, and I just have been enjoying it. It's the best kind of book. Like those are always the best. The books where like you're just browsing and you see something and catches your eye, and you're like, hey, maybe I'll give this a try, and then you immediately start reading. You're like, this is good. Yeah,
it makes you feel like maybe every book's really
yeah,
good.
exactly. Yeah.
Maybe I should just randomly pick up books and start reading them.
Yeah. And I'm often attracted to books by their cover.
Yes, we all are.
So this has got a great cover.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to watch the show after I finish the book. It's apparently like a way bigger hit over there than it is here.
Okay. I'm in a bit of a reading slump. And by me, that means I read 20 books last year.
Stop bragging, because I've read like 4.
But that's a slump for me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, a couple years ago, I was reading 50, 60 books a year. I was reading one a week.
I've never read that fast. I like to take my time.
And I know, but here's the thing. It's like going to the gym. Like, you know how you go to the gym?
There's momentum. There's a sense of momentum.
No, I was saying,
and when you break that momentum.
Well, not that. It's that it feels good. Like, reading is a form of meditation. When I read, it helps my OCD. It helps my depression. Like, just for, like, my mental health, I should read an hour every day. And I say I'm going to do it, and then I watch a Columbo instead.
Yeah.
Or
they say that you only need to read 6 minutes a day. That's interesting. It's like you said, it's like meditation. Like after 6 minutes of reading, you hit that point where you're like no longer in your body.
But it's got to be reading without stopping.
Exactly. 6 consecutive minutes at least. And you'll get the benefit of like, oh, that was like a little meditation session.
Right. Because your brain will stop. The wheels will stop spinning about whatever they're spinning about and start focusing on the thing you're actively doing with your brain. Yeah. So like when I read more, I think I was more peaceful in my mind too. But it's just like, I don't know. Why
have you hit a slump? It's just you're not finding anything you like?
I think.
Because I'm in a slump too.
Well, 2 things. One is that, by gosh, I still love movies so much. Yeah. Like now that I have the Criterion channel, like every day I'm like watching a banger. It's so good. And, you know, I watched Columbo. I watch all of the Godzilla movies. Like, there's always something cool to watch. And, like, if I had my druthers, you know, like, if I had, like, the perfect life, I would every day, like, after work, like, watch one movie and then have 2 hours of reading. But really, that never works out. It's one or the other.
I want to be just, like, an old school dad.
Yeah.
From the 50s who, you know, had every night after dinner he read for like 2 hours in his study. Yeah. And it's really because he was putting all of the work of the house and the children on his wife. Right, of course. But yeah, like I wish I could have like that time every night, but I don't. But couldn't you? Or I fall asleep. My slump is genuinely, I think, because especially I'm a teacher during the school year, reading is so relaxing, it puts me to sleep. Yes. And it takes me forever to finish books because I read them one paragraph at a time.
I know. And then I'm like, did I even really read that?
Yeah, I know. By the time I get to the end, sometimes I'm like, what character is this? I don't even remember. I also have a horrible habit of as I'm doing right now, reading multiple books at the same time. So then it's like I'm reading both of them twice as slow.
Oh God.
So like I'm reading this and another book, which is part of my obsession.
That's why I read like half the books I used to like the last couple of years, because it's like I'm reading a paragraph at a time.
Yeah, you fall asleep. I mean, I'm also like I read a lot for my job. I'm sure you do too. And it's like, I don't know. And also like I love, especially like I'm an English teacher, so like I'm literally talking about this stuff all day. I'm reading it all day, and like that's great. But then it's like when I'm done, like the reading for fun is the last thing that's on my mind. Yeah, I want to watch some TV.
The other part of my slump is that I somehow I've completely lost the taste, or I don't as of late have the taste for fiction.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I just think that it's contemporary fiction is just in a slump. I don't think there's
I don't know if I could blame them. I feel like the way that I read one paragraph at a time works less for fiction.
Yeah,
I feel like if it's a like the last book I finished was The History of Siskel and Ebert, which I talked about on the show. Like that was easy to, like a nonfiction book like that, it's easy to pick up and put down. There's no through line really. Yeah. Like you can't read like a book with a story.
True. I really do think that there's something to the fact that I think there's truth to the idea, I should say, that our attention spans are just shot to hell.
I mean, yeah.
I'm even if I'm really enjoying a book, I so have the urge to look at my phone every 2 minutes.
Yes. There used to be Saturdays where I would wake up and say, like, I'm going to read today, and then eat, and then read, and literally read the whole day.
That sounds delightful and cozy.
And I tell myself I'm going to do it, and I never do it.
Yeah.
I never do it.
I'm the same. I feel the same way. I don't. I get jealous. Like I look at other people. It's part of the reason why I got off Goodreads, because I was getting like, I was like, this is my hobby, and now I'm starting to feel bad about my hobby. So I just need to fucking get off this. Yeah. Because I would look at other people reading like a book every day, and I'd be like, oh, why can't I do that? They're better than me.
Yeah. No.
And like even now, like I go on Instagram and like people that I'm like coworkers and stuff. They're like, book number 15 of 2024 done. I'm like, 15? I'm still reading the same book I started in December.
Well, every time I go on Goodreads, I have the challenge. And every year I put a lower number and I still don't make it. And so every time I go on Goodreads, I'm met with, you're 2 books behind. You're 3 books behind.
Yeah, it's like,
and then I go and I read a comic to cheat. I cheat the system by reading a comic or a book of poetry, which I feel like is not cheating because I've read a book of poetry or a comic.
Right, of course.
But still, it's like, what are we doing here?
I know, yeah. So I'm in a bit of a reading slump. I
wish I didn't have to sleep.
Been in a bit of a reading slump.
If I could just read all night instead of sleeping, that would be incredible.
I mean, yeah, it would be. But we have to sleep. I can't remember like the last. I feel like I still read. But like, I don't know. I can't remember the last book I read where I was like, "Fuck, this book is great." Like this book, I'm really enjoying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe my mind is just mush from like TikTok and stuff. Like I'm not. Things aren't sticking with me. Or maybe I'm just also getting older.
I did that thing today, which I haven't done in like 2-3 months. Which is I downloaded TikTok to spend one day with it.
Yeah.
I'll do that. I've downloaded and deleted TikTok a million times, and I know I'm going to do it. Like I'll download and go, today's the day I want to see what TikTok looks like.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done, I delete it because I can't keep it in my life totally.
Yeah.
But I still find myself like getting lost in like the YouTube version of TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. Instagram. I mean, it's just so easy.
Yeah.
Anyway, but what are you chilling with?
Well, I want to talk to you about Sweetpea. Are you aware of Sweetpea and the saga of Sweetpea?
No.
So the Puppy Bowl was recently. I don't know if you're aware of this.
Yeah, of course.
And one of the puppies...
It's only the biggest sporting event of the year.
Yeah, so one of the puppies was an adorable little teacup puppy named Sweetpea.
Okay.
And...
Is this going to make me sad?
He won everybody's heart.
Okay.
And then at the end of the Puppy Bowl, there was a thing that said, like, rest in peace, Sweetpea.
No.
Sweetpea was sick and died of its sicknesses.
Oh, my God.
But it led a lot of people to be like, wait, so if it was sick, why was it on the show? Why do you mean
what?
You're being
it's
very
not
vague?
Live?
No, it's not live.
Oh, I'm confused.
Okay. And then that brought up like other people being like, this is why fucking teacup animals are bad because they're bred for size and nothing else.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah. But it's too small to like live.
Oh no. I'm gonna cry.
I know, Sweetpea.
He's too small for this earth. Look at him next to a football.
I know.
Oh my god.
The world was like
He was
this
only
is what
4
happened.
months old.
The world met Sweetpea, fell in love with Sweetpea, and then mourned Sweetpea in one day.
Why didn't they just not air it?
I don't know, because what are they gonna do? They need to do it. They've been doing it for like 10 years.
She was only 20% the size of her siblings. She had a hole in her heart.
So why was she out there playing the game?
No, I think they just play. I don't think they're actually.
They don't actually play football.
Why is she out there on the field?
But still, it feels like, why is she there at all?
Oh, she only. This is so sad.
But this is why you can't breed these teacup. Get like real breeds.
Oh no!
It's like they're bred out of being functioning.
What kind of dog is she?
I don't know.
She's so cute. Oh,
Sweetpea is such a great name.
Yeah, it is. Hold on. What kind of dog was Sweetpea from the Puppy Bowl? She was a Cavapoo.
Oh, like Peach.
Like Peach. She's a little baby.
Wow,
Cavapoo.
she doesn't look anything like Peach.
Well, she's tiny. She's a tiny little
Cavapoos
baby.
Cavapoos don't always look alike.
She lived a charming life.
For 2 months.
Oh, look at her face. I love those. Maisie has this face. Like dogs that like always look sad. Like
I'm a
precious
sad
moments.
puppy.
I'm a sad puppy. Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad. So, yeah. So what are you reading up on like the moral?
No, I'm just thinking about Sweetpea a lot.
I'm just thinking about Sweetpea.
All right, let's
Doesn't
move on.
having a dog
enrich your life in ways that you
of
can't
course,
imagine?
That's what I was gonna say. But like change you in a way that I imagine having a child changes you. Not exactly the same, but like this is gonna sound so weird, but like sometimes Maisie's only 4.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm just sitting there playing with her. I'm like, I'm gonna be wrecked when you die.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah.
And then I just like want to cry.
Right.
It's like
Is it
we
worth
truly
it?
don't deserve.
I
them.
think it's worth it, but if you're so pained, it might not be worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, Jen really wanted a rat super bad, but then we learned rats live only a matter of like a handful of years, and she was like, I can't go through that every 4 years.
Yeah.
So we won't fall in love with a rat.
I wouldn't fall in love with a rat.
She really wanted a rat.
Good for her.
No, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen when Peach dies.
Yeah, I know it's hard. It's horrible, and I used to think I was the only person who had these thoughts, but then of course TikTok, I saw a bunch of people. Like, the thing with TikTok is like none of us have ever had an original thought.
Yeah.
It's just like a thing of people being like, oh man, like I'm crying about my dog dying in 10 years, and it's like staring at me.
Well, that's the thing about if you're a pet parent. A parent should never have to bury their child, but pet parents, in fact, have to do that all the time.
Yeah.
But it's a circle of life, and then you get a puppy.
It is
and I feel no shade. There's no shade for me on anybody who like. You could go get a puppy the second your dog dies. Like I'm not mad at you. I'm not judging you. Some people, if you feel bad at yourself, that's fine. But I don't judge other people.
No, I would never.
Because it's the circle of life. That's the point of dogs.
Right. Yeah, and they're our best friend, and they want to be our companions.
Right. We are linked evolutionarily. From the first good boy who's like, I'll protect you if you give me scraps. And then that's when we were like, all right, we're going to be best friends forever. And here we are.
Did you ever read To Build a Fire by Jack London?
No.
It's like a short story about like...
Didn't he do Cool Little While too?
Yeah. It's like a guy on the frontier, and he like essentially freezes to death. And then he like tells the dog to like try to save itself. It's super sad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, and that's like, his companion.
Yeah.
I don't know if the dog makes it. I don't remember.
Wow, this is upsetting.
It's really upsetting.
Let's move on to something else. So the details came out for the Community movie. Abed became a big successful filmmaker, and this is a.
Are they all going to be in it?
What do you mean by all?
Chevy?
No, not Chevy. But, well, let me first say, so Abed's a big filmmaker, and they all come back for a reunion. And that's it. So I actually think, and I know everyone hates him and he hates them and Dan Harmon hates him and it would never work. And it would be a nightmare for them to do it. But as a viewer, I really wish they could make it happen.
With Chevy Chase.
Right, because whether he was a horrible person to work with or not, he was an essential part of it.
Yeah.
Like season 2, where like they're cooking on old burners, like really good. He's so good in it. They're also good. They all play that part. I liked it after he left, but they kept trying to also replace him, and they never could.
Yeah. I think also there was something about the character never quite got it, and Chevy Chase never quite got it.
Right. And they all were kind of like, this guy's so old and out of touch.
Yeah.
And he's offensive. Like, it was really
like, it was art imitating life.
Yeah.
And it was like, you hear, like, even, like, if you've heard, like, his, like, crazy voicemails to Dan Harmon, like, he never got it either.
No, he never got it.
So, like, that's part of what made the performance so good.
Yeah.
Was that he truly didn't get it.
Yeah.
Like, remember when he was like, I'm the star here, and you're focusing on Joel's love story. It's so good.
So he's so wildly out of touch.
Yeah, like, and it's like that episode where Old White Guy Says, the blog.
Yeah.
That's about him.
Right.
And then he reads it, he's like, this guy's a real idiot.
Right. It's, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't.
I do wish he was in there.
I do, because that's the iconic cast.
That's the community. That's them. That's the real deal. Like,
yeah, You think they'll? I know there are a lot of people out there that would like to see Britta and Jeff get together.
Well, I feel like the way the show went, it was Annie and Jeff
exactly.
that were the real ones.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you think they'll try to like correct that?
I don't know,
because I don't know if the fans ever got into the Annie and Jeff thing. It's also,
but it also never.
Also, in these times, it's a weird relationship.
But it also never happened. Like,
no,
like they addressed it in the last episode. Did you ever see the series finale?
I think I did. I think I saw it once.
The last thing that happens is Chang says, "I'm gay." I'm gay. Which is funny because he's always been making fun. Yeah. He's always been saying that.
Yeah.
It'll probably be thankfully we have Donald Glover in it.
Yeah.
Because without him, I think what are we even doing?
Well, wasn't that I remember when they were talking about potentially
doing it. That's when the show
it.
really I think faltered.
Well, but I remember like when they were talking about making the movie a few years ago, Joel McHale was like, I don't think we'd ever get Donald back.
Well, I think he wants to do.
Well, that's good.
He wanted to do it. I do wonder if like some of the people that came later on they'll have in or not.
Who was the other?
Paget Brewster came later on.
Who's that?
She was like a teacher.
Oh, the woman. Yeah, the other woman main character.
Yeah. Then you had like what's his name? The actor from
the weird bald guy.
Bad.
Yeah. Those last seasons are like hazy for me.
Yeah.
And then like Dan
have
left and
Nicole Brown,
back,
skinny.
Right? Oh yeah.
I think he was fired and came back.
Yeah, because then they said that season 4 was like a gas leak.
Right, they decanonized the whole season.
It's so weird.
Which I didn't think that was a bad season anyway. The show is good in season 1, and then season 2 and 3 are excellent, and then it just slowly just gets worse.
Remember wasn't the last season on like Yahoo Screen?
Yeah, it was like something that doesn't even exist anymore.
Crazy like Quibi.
Yeah.
Like some like comically
bad. It was ridiculous
streaming service.
Yeah. But by gum, I want to see it.
Yeah, of course.
But it's got to be streaming, right? I mean, can a movie like that ever go to a theater?
I can't imagine that it would.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people even watched it when it was a show. It was something that people liked.
No, it still feels kind of culty.
Yeah.
Like it's like Psych. There's a few Psych movies every couple of years, and those never get released.
Yeah.
'Cause that's like a cult show too.
There's a new Monk movie that, if you're really into Detective Monk.
Yeah, I've never been into him, but I liked him very much on Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah. What is she in? She's doing something.
She's
now.
Lois Lane, isn't she?
Yeah, she's the new Lois Lane. Yeah. That's good. I'm good.
Yeah, I like her.
She'd be a good Lois Lane. She's got that 20s, 30s. dialect.
Yeah.
You could see her as like
the
a
transatlantic.
Reporter. Yeah, you could see her
But
as
she
like a
doesn't
reporter.
really talk like that.
Yeah, but she better talk like that as Lois Lane.
Yeah, she better. But the first time I ever heard her speaking in her normal voice, I was like, oh, this is weird. It's like when you hear Blanche from Golden Girls speaking in her normal voice.
But she's not a Southern Belle.
She's not a Southern Belle. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need that transatlantic accent.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break and we'll come back with our current obsessions. Welcome back to PCMC. I'm here with Anthony. Anthony, what is
Mike.
your current obsession?
My current obsession is Feud Season 2, Capote versus the Swans.
Isn't it Feud Season 3?
No, 2.
I thought there was a second one that no one cared about.
No, I don't think so.
It was Betty Davis, Joan Crawford.
Yeah.
Then I believe a second one no one gave a shit about.
I think you're thinking of Fosse Verdon,
Maybe.
which was not a feud, but
Okay.
it was a Ryan Murphy show.
It's hard to keep up. All right, so tell me about
So
Feud Season 2.
I'm obsessed with it. Have you
Capote
watched?
versus the Swans. No, not yet.
Okay. So I saw the trailer and I was gagged, as the kids say,
Sure.
because it looks so good. So I started reading the book. So I'm also reading the book. I'm about halfway through the book on my Kindle. I always read, as I said before, I read 2 books at the same time. Usually
Or
once.
you don't read 2 books at the same time.
What?
Or you read, or you
Oh,
don't.
or
read.
you don't. Yeah. So I usually read a nonfiction on my Kindle and a fiction like paperback. I don't know why. So I've been reading. I started reading it before the show started, and it's long because it's like written by a historian. It's got like
It's not his book.
No, it's the book Capote's Women, which is what the show is based on.
Oh. But he wrote a book, didn't he? Or he wrote articles?
He wrote he wrote a book. He never finished it.
Oh.
Called Answered Prayers, which was only published a few chapters at a time in New York Magazine.
Okay.
Where he wrote about society women, and they were thinly veiled
Right.
versions of his friends.
Okay.
The women that he
How
called
many
the
episodes
Swans.
are you into it? Or is it
4.
How many will there be?
Probably like 10.
So from the trailer and from what I know, like why did he do it?
So
it seems like he found this weird world that would accept his eccentricities.
Yeah,
And
so he
why
was
is
beloved.
he self-destructive?
And yeah, so the show gets into that, and the book and the show are very different tonally. The book is much more like you're reading a historian's account of like the book. The author goes really deep into each.
Are you
one
telling me
of the,
Ryan Murphy isn't adhering to historic?
I'll get there in a second, because it's not all Ryan Murphy. But the book gets much more into like each one of the women's full lives,
Okay.
and then his full life, and it's like really historical, and it's like 300 something pages, it's like really long, but really interesting. The show focuses much more on the feud aspect.
Sure.
So I haven't quite gotten to this point in the book yet, but if you watch the show, it's presented as he hit like a high after publishing in Cold Blood.
Which is based on a true story.
Based on a true story. Yeah, it's kind of like I also just taught that book, so like I feel like
I've
I'm
never
really
read it.
like in the world of Truman Capote right
Sure.
now. So it's like he was at a high, and then it's like he hit a writer's block now.
Okay.
Kind of a thing is like sort of how it's being presented. He's drinking a lot.
Okay.
He's like depressed. His life's kind of falling apart. And then he like hooks up with this guy who's like a young writer himself, who's I believe is a writer, who says to him like he like goes to a lunch with him where he like meets all his women friends that are all like these wives of powerful men, and at like the end of the first episode he says to him like, this is your book, like write about them. And that's like the birth of the idea. Was that like he's gonna write like a tell-all about all these women who are his friends, and their lives and their scandals and and their husbands cheating and all that kind of stuff. So he was friends with them
before he decided to write the book.
Yes, he was close friends with them. So the major ones are Babe Paley, who's was the wife of Bill Paley, the CBS founder. I think the Paley Center for Media is named for them. CZ Guest, Slim Keith, who had like a million famous husbands. She was married to like Howard Hawks and Leland Hayward and like a bunch of people. And then there's Lee Radziwill, who is Jackie O's sister. And Demi Moore plays Ann Woodward. Molly Ringwald is in it as Joanne Carson, Johnny Carson's wife.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it's like all these famous wives. And the show is being marketed as like the original Housewives.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, was the original writing by Truman Capote the beginning of this kind of idea?
No, not the beginning, but I mean, he was, he had a very interesting life and a very rough childhood, but he found himself like in the middle of like this very glamorous New York social circle. And he basically, he produced essentially like writing that was a really brilliantly written, stylized. I mean, his writing is beautiful, but it was just like very gossipy. And gossip columns have always existed. So that's nothing. He didn't invent that. Maybe there's something to be said that he's the first one to write kind of like a tell-all like that.
Well, I mean, like the idea of like housewives and desperate housewives.
Well,
like, this idea of like, these rich women that are friends and this is their lives.
Yeah, maybe. I think that there certainly might be some truth to that, and I think that he had said many times that he was much more fascinated by them than by their husbands, because he felt that they had like more tenacity and they needed to do more to survive, and it was all about appearances and they were great at that. Whatever. What I will say is that the show is not how it's marketed. Like, it's marketed as very campy and very bitchy and like fun. It's actually like kind of dark and a little sad, but really, really good. And it feels not very Ryan Murphy-ish.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's the name attached to it, but every episode so far has been directed by Gus Van Sant.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it feels Gus Van Sant-y.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that.
And I mean, we're 4 episodes in. I'm pretty sure that means that Gus Van Sant probably is going to direct every episode of the season. So anyway, it's just really good. The acting is amazing. And I love to see any show about women, especially women of a certain age.
Yeah.
Because there's just not enough representation of women in general.
Are they depicted as... Or is anyone depicted as more right?
The show kind of, I think, makes you tries to empathize or make you sympathize with everyone. Like, I don't think you don't hate him. Okay. But because you feel so sorry for him, because you see that he's like unraveling, he's drinking like crazy, he gets into an abusive relationship. And he's just like desperate. They bring in a lot of like his backstory with his mother. His mother was very abusive. She shows up in like not flashbacks. They're like sort of like hallucinations. She shows up and he talks with her, and she's played by Jessica Lange. Okay, brilliantly. And I think the show is trying to make this connection of like he wants these women's love, but also wants to punish them because he wants his mother. He always wanted his mother's love, but also she hurt him so much. Yeah. Like she hated the fact that he was so effeminate. She sent him to military school where he was sexually abused. She had him go for like experimental like testosterone treatments to try to make him more masculine. Like, she was really horrible. And like a negligent mother, but also like his best friend. So it's like a very weird, complex relationship that then the show is trying to portray as like then he recreated with all of these other women. But no, you kind of feel bad for all of them. Okay, I just think it's great. It's a good show. It's a really. I want to
watch it because I loved season 1. Betty Davis and Joan Crawford,
which also I think was marketed as being very campy,
yeah, because that ended up being sad,
was like substantive.
Yeah, yeah. And both their lives ended very sad.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the historical things that he does actually are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like O.J. Simpson was good.
Because he can't fuck with it.
Well, he can
because it's historical.
He can't fuck with it, but he what he can do is something that he's good at, which is focusing on interesting things that you wouldn't think of, like the impeachment series about Bill Clinton. He had that whole episode about the Drudge Report where Billy Eichner played Drudge.
Yeah.
And it's all from his point of view. Like that's such a smart thing to do.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like I said, every episode's been directed by Gus Van Sant, but you do have that too. Like the third episode, the entire thing is like found footage from like a real scrapped documentary that was being made about him right after he got like super famous with In Cold Blood. So it's like the entire third episode is in black and white, and it's all like footage of like them being interviewed about him. But then you see like behind the scenes things of like them fighting with their husbands and the cameras like watching and filming them, and like so it's got that thing of like where it gets a little experimental.
How did Capote
also the fact
die?
that like his mother shows up as like a ghost
Yeah.
is kind of, you know, in that vein.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know fully.
Okay.
I know he did die young. He died before he finished the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he might die in the show.
I'm sure he will die in the show.
So did he only write 2 books?
He wrote, well, I mean,
Breakfast at
no.
Tiffany's and In Cold Blood?
No, he wrote Other Voices, Other Rooms. He had a bunch of short stories. He wrote another novel too that I can't think of the name of.
Liver disease complicated by
Drinking, right?
yeah.
And
drug intoxication.
Yeah.
So he's like drank himself.
He's
to
like a
death.
mess at this point of his life. I think it's the early 70s.
He was only 59 when he died.
Yeah. He's just a fascinating character.
Oh yeah.
In general.
I mean, he became like a celebrity in his own right, like being in
Yes.
movies and talk shows and stuff.
Well, that's the thing too, is like I'm kind of like in this world mentally because like I said, I just taught In Cold Blood for the second year in a row. And that's such a fascinating book because he kind of invented true crime as we know it.
Yeah.
And he is invisible in that book, but he's such a curator of everything you read.
Yeah.
And it's the ethical question is so interesting because it's like he wants you to feel sorry for Perry, one of the killers, because in real life he became like very attached to Perry. So it's like he gathers all of this evidence. He did like this insane research he spent like years in traveling back and forth between New York and Kansas with Harper Lee, who like helped him write it, or at least helped him do research. But then you read the book and he's not in it anywhere.
Right.
So it's a weird thing of like the ethical question is like the bias is so well covered up.
Right.
You know, and essentially the whole thing, you can read that whole book as an argument against the death penalty, which is, I think, really he just didn't want to see them killed. And then, like if you read about,
but wasn't one of the killers gay?
No,
okay,
but yes, like it's been speculated that one of the killers was gay, and Perry, and that. He had said many times that he identified very strongly with Perry, and like those twin movies, Infamous and Capote, with Stephen Hoffman, were like about the writing of that book and the relationship between him and Perry, and it's just heavily suggested. Although I don't think it was ever verified that anything ever happened between the two of them, and I don't think he was ever like Perry was not like openly gay. But anyway, it's a known fact that like when they were executed, like Truman Capote said that like he couldn't be present because he couldn't bear to watch. So it was like one of those. I actually last year I taught it with Serial because it was kind of like the original Serial where it's like Sarah Koenig became so close to him that then she felt like he was a friend.
Right.
It was like that.
Yes.
So anyway, he's just a really interesting character. His writing is he's a brilliant writer. It's he produces such beautiful prose. I mean, In Cold Blood is a great book. It's a really slow burn, so it's like slow moving. But anyway, That's my obsession.
Fantastic.
I talked a lot about that. I apologize.
That's fine.
I'm just so darn excited about it.
My current obsession is Lisa Frankenstein.
I thought you were going to say that. Didn't that get horrible reviews?
It got mixed reviews, mixed to bad reviews.
Okay.
But I'm right. It's very good.
It looked very good, I thought.
It's written by Diablo Cody. Mm-hmm. She says it's in the same world that Jennifer's Body takes place in.
That's fun. It's the 80s, right? Or the 90s?
Yes, it's the 80s. It's directed by Zelda Williams, the daughter of Robin Williams. It is candy to look at. It's so... it's got that 80s thing, but it's got a sort of dark edge to it that you don't see on things like Stranger Things. Like, it's the 80s, but it's not like 80s is great, which I like when they show like the 80s had a lot of horrible things in it.
Yeah.
And the lead performer who plays Lisa is Catherine Newton.
I love her.
She's really good. She what do you love her from?
Blockers.
Oh, right. Yes. I forget that she's in Blockers.
She's the main... She's what's her name's daughter? She's the main girl in Blockers.
Yes. She's also in Freaky, Big Little Lies. She's in that terrible last Ant-Man movie. She is in Pokemon.
But she's funny.
And she's also in the new movie Abigail.
Yes.
She's fantastic, and her performance is so good. She performs it in such a way where it's like she's like mousy and shy, but also like cutting. Like, she's really an interesting performer where like a lot of the choices she makes, like even just like line deliveries or the way she uses her body or her face, are like things that you wouldn't expect. Mm-hmm. I think her performance is absolutely incredible. And the movie's got a bit of Heather's in it. It's got a bit of My Boyfriend's Back.
I was just gonna say, when I saw the trailer, for a second I thought it was gonna be like a remake of My Boyfriend's
Real
Back.
ones know about My Boyfriend's Back.
that's for the real ones.
It's got a little bit of...
It looks like it's got a little bit of Beetlejuice.
Yes. And of course a little bit of Frankenstein, a little bit of Rocky Horror. There's some like blatant Rocky Horror references in it. Cole Sprouse.
Yeah.
As the...
He's the Sprouse now, isn't he? Isn't the other one?
Yeah, I don't think the other one works. I could be wrong.
Dylan.
Yeah, he is the creature. He doesn't speak in the whole movie. He does a good performance. Okay. Just as basically he's like a zombie. She brings him back to life by a wish. Okay.
Why does she have a crush on him to begin with?
Because she's a dark and disturbed young lady. Well,
it's giving Lydia Dietz.
Her mother was this is spoilers for the film. Her mother was killed by a slasher, like someone with a mask came in and killed her, and she ran and hid, so she heard her mother being killed. And I kept thinking that was going to come back. It doesn't. That's just her backstory. And then her father marries a new woman that she hates, and then she's got like a stepsister. So there's almost a little bit of like Cinderella too. Okay. But the stepsister's really nice, which is interesting. Like the stepsister is a cheerleader and she's super pretty and everyone loves her, but she's not a bitch. She's like so nice to Lisa and like wants to like help her and be her friend. So it's a interesting inversion. And she likes hanging out in the cemetery. And like on Sprouse's there's a bust of his face on his tombs. Oh, and he just, so like she sees cute. It and she likes talking to it and stuff because she feels very alone in the world.
Is he supposed to be like from the 19th century?
Maybe even earlier than that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure when he's from. No, maybe 19th is right. And she wishes for him, and he comes. Oh, also, Diablo Cody said she was very inspired by Weird Science.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Because like oddly, like he makes her life better, but also he starts killing people, which like creates a problem.
Yeah.
So
that's where the Heathers kind of comes in.
Yeah, and it also a little bit like Little Shop of Horror too. Like she kills people. He and her kill people together to get body parts to put on him That's where like the Frankenstein part comes in. Like he's a zombie. She doesn't bring him to life other than like wishing it.
Right.
But then she gives him body parts from people.
Why does he need them?
Because he doesn't he doesn't have a hand.
Oh. Okay.
So he wants a hand. And then like there's magic to it. Like her stepsister has like a tanning bed that's defective, so to electrocute you. So like every time she sews something onto him, he goes into the bed and it like shocks him and it makes it the new part of him work. It's got such a, I don't know, like almost like John Watery's type of like, you know, pink flamingo kind of like, it's just such a good looking movie.
It almost sounds like John Waters meets like John Hughes.
Yes.
Kind of fun little
it's so
mix.
Yeah, it's so good. I thought it was and you know what? Let me say, I know cool people, and cool people like this movie, and it's going to be a cult classic. It's absolutely going to be a cult classic.
So is Jennifer's Body's a cult classic.
Yeah.
Deadpool
Cody is so good, but could we appreciate her?
Mainstream wise, she's never really had anything be celebrated except for Juno.
Right. But I fucking love United States of Tara.
Oh, me too. God, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I love that was her.
I love Jennifer's Body. She's really good.
Jennifer's Body's great and is a
I like
classic.
YA or Young Adult.
I never saw Young Adult.
That's a really good movie. She's so good, and she's having so much fun in this. And there are dream sequences in this that are absolutely gorgeous, like black and white dream sequences.
Is it on streaming?
No, it's in theaters.
You went to see it?
We went to see it on Valentine's Day.
Well, that's fun.
We had a beautiful Valentine's Day.
Were there a lot of people there?
Yes, there was.
That's great. That's a lot of fun.
So Lisa Frankenstein, go and see it. It's fucking awesome. This has been Pop Culture Man Children. I was Mike Bongiorno. Yes, I was here with Anthony Bongiorno. Anthony, we end every episode by saying,
go bye-bye.